Hello, everybody. Today, I have fabricated a list for you all. This is a list of my top 10 favorite metal riffs. We all know that metal is a highly guitar driven style of music, and I figured what better way to celebrate that than to do a top 10 list of my favorite metal riffs of all time. Few criteria: these have to be actual sort of chuggy riffs. They can't just be, sort of melodic leads or anything like that. It's not a favorite solos. It is a favorite riffs that drive songs. And that's pretty much the only criteria. I have a lot of black metal, a lot of doom metal, and one death metal entry. This is an objective top 10. I know that there's a lot of videos of the top 10 metal guitar riffs, but they tend to, be bands like Judas Priest, Crazy Train by Ozzy Osbourne, Ace of Spades by Motorhead, shit like that. I'm gonna try to do more obscure kind of stuff. So yeah, let's get into this. Coming in at number 10, we have Dying Fetus with Your Treachery Will Die With You. I am referring specifically to the slam in this song, which is incredibly intense and just very, very punishing and headbangable. And it comes on and it just is. There's this build up to the slam that just sends chills down your spine. It's an absolutely fantastic riff, as well as the riff that really drives the song, which is insanely, insanely technical. This really just exhibits the death metal mastery, pretty much, that Dying Fetus have always had and hopefully always will have. So yeah, Dying Fetus, Your Treachery Will Die With You, a fantastic metal riff. Number 9, we have Burzum with My Journey to the Stars. Not only is this my favorite Burzum song, it probably contains my favorite Burzum riffs. Just very beautiful and majestic, but at the same time very fast and harsh and traditional stuff. I know a lot of people might say Dunkelheit for their favorite Burzum riff, but for me it is My Journey to the Stars. It's a fantastic, fantastic riff that really adds to the atmosphere that Varg is trying to create with his shrieked vocals and really, really almost a little cryptic, but very beautiful and fantastic lyrics. Coming in at number 8, we have Bong Ripper with Hail. This is off the album Satan Worshipping Doom. This is off the first track entitled Hail. And goddamn, this opening riff just exemplifies everything that this album is. Just heavy as balls. Just crazy, ridiculous, slow, aggressive, menacing, just high as shit doom metal. And Bong Ripper's Hail is a perfect example of this. The introduction to that song is just one of the most groovy things you'll ever hear in doom metal. It's absolutely fantastic. Coming in at number 7 is Oranzi Pazuzu with Vino Verso. If you're not too familiar with the Oranzi Pazuzu, they are a psychedelic black metal band from Finland, I believe, and they are known for sort of including a lot of industrial elements into their black metal sound without becoming a Thorn-styled industrial black metal band. But the riff in this song is really, really intriguing. It's very menacing and sinister, and the whole song is almost comprised almost entirely of this entire one guitar riff, along with the psychedelic effects that they add in, and it just builds and just gets more menacing as the song progresses. It's a very, very awesome riff. So yeah, you should definitely check out Oranzi Pazuzu and the song Vino Verso, and you'll really, really enjoy the riff of that. Coming in at number 6, we have Amon Amarth with Under the Northern Star. This is a fantastic song, one of my favorite Amon Amarth songs, and not only is the lead amazing, but the riffs that just drive this song forward are absolutely fantastic. They do a great job of conveying this just very bleak and beautiful atmosphere through melodic death metal, which I feel like a lot of bands aren't able to pull that off, but Amon Amarth does it fantastically on Under the Northern Star. So definitely one of my favorite death metal riffs and my favorite Amon Amarth riff. Coming in at number 5, we have 3 Inches of Blood with Axes of Evil. Every track off of Advance and Vanquish is fantastic. Axes of Evil is actually far from my favorite track on the album, but it does contain a riff that is really, really cool and just really headbangable, and brings to mind old school heavy metal as well as just very modern power metal. There's just a lot going on with it, and it really is very intricate and very layered, but still just has that 3 inches of blood old school heavy metal sound all over it, and it's just a fantastic headbangable riff that you can have a lot of fun listening to. Coming in at number 4, we have My Dying Bride with The Light at the End of the World. Easily My Dying Bride's most depressing song. Just absolutely heartbroken and just debilitatingly sad. Honorable mention, I guess we could throw in here, is The Snow in My Hand from My Dying Bride, from my favorite album of all time, Turn Loose the Swans. That riff is fantastic, but My Dying Bride, Light at the End of the World has it beat. It's so epic and bleak and desolate and majestic and just pure sorrow, really, coming in through that riff. It's fantastic. I love that riff. Coming in at number 3, we have Electric Wizard with Funeralopolis. Electric Wizard is probably one of the most seminal doom metal bands of all time. They're amazing, and this is probably one of their most famous riffs, and there's a very good reason why. It's just absolutely nihilistic in nature. It's very slow and groovy and bluesy, but at the same time just hateful as shit. The album really brings forth just, the perfect mix of groove and hate is the best way to describe Electric Wizard's Dope Throne album. And Funeralopolis is a great job of this. It's just a very, very misanthropic, nasty doom riff that just has a lot of punch behind it. It's very fantastic. Coming in at number 2, Dark Throne with Transylvanian Hunger. This riff personifies black metal better than any other black metal riff. Some people might say Freezing Moon by Mayhem. I completely disagree. I think it is Dark Throne's Transylvanian Hunger. The riff is just masterfully constructed. It's very, very simple. It's very elegant. It's very beautiful. At the same time, it is harsh and cold and destructive and disgusting and hateful and fucking frostbitten and cold. It is so good. Dark Throne Transylvanian Hunger is the best black metal riff of all time, in my opinion. It's absolutely fucking classic, and that's why it's my number 2. And my number 1 favorite riff of all time comes from my number 1 favorite band, and if you know my videos, you immediately know what I'm talking about. My number 1 riff of all time is Ahab's Antarctica the Polymorphous. Antarctica the Polymorphous is not my favorite Ahab song of all time. My favorite Ahab song is Aeons Elapse. But the way that this song builds towards this riff is amazing. You have this very soft but very ominous acoustic intro with just sort of a lot of reverb and a lot of effects on it being played over this sort of slowly escalating drum pattern. And eventually it all leads up to this riff, Antarctica the Polymorphous. And this riff is so goddamn heavy. It is ridiculous how simple but effective this riff is. It carries so much weight. It is so destructive. It exemplifies funeral doom metal and just being epic and massive and destructive, but at the same time being literally just a few chords thrown together in just such a perfect way. And the way it works with the drums and the lyrics, it makes this song an absolutely immense fucking journey. Antarctica the Polymorphous is my favorite metal riff of all time, and it should be yours too, but it's probably not. It's probably fucking Ace of Spades by Motorhead, which is cool too, but mine is Antarctica the Polymorphous by Ahab. So there you go, guys. Quick little top 10 list that I just pulled out of my ass. Yeah, that's what's up. One more thing I wanted to say, just a quick little channel update. If you've ever seen Mike C. Town's videos where he does the What You Want to Know segment, I'm going to start doing something like that because I like the idea of doing the Q&As. I don't want to constantly be announcing, hey, new Q&A. So if you ever want to ask me a question, then just put it in the description box down below, and I'll just answer it in a subsequent video, which will be devoted to me answering a few of these questions, and I'll just do that as the questions come in, if any come in. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Let me know what your favorite metal riff is down on my penis right there. Or the comment section is also an option. Thank you guys. I hope you have a great night.